What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today. We are watching CallMeARJ, Ultra Vegito's final battle, Grand Priest versus God Killer. Okay. Obviously it's an hour-long video. About to get into it, and this week I'm gonna start streaming. I'm off this week because of my birthday, but my birthday's the 7th or tomorrow. I don't know when I'm gonna post it. I'll probably post this tomorrow, and or Sunday. I don't know, but yeah. And so I'm off this week, so I'm about to just be streaming. So let me know what y'all want me to do in the streams, man. I can react to these type of videos, or just chill and chat, or we hop on the video games. I'm playing 2K right now, obviously. So let me know, man, and make sure y'all enjoy the video, and let's get into it.
So our story continues with the three Saiyans of legend of Universe 7 and of
Universe
the
7
story. Destroyed Seraphim Vegeta, Seraphim Goku, and completed Vegito, each firing off their final attack of choice in response to the Grand Priest's own final energy blast from above.
Talk to me.
And with all their powers combined within Vegito himself, it would be in mere moments that their blast would fire out and move straight or die. So, you are prepared after all, mortal? Leaving the enraged and riddled with bulging veins, corrupted angel to stare back with his now blood
Shit, look
red
back at it, nigga.
seraphim eyes before. Let this be your final act. Bow down before us, Saiyan.
Oh shit.
As with all his own power focused now, clearly influenced and infused with Lucifer's demonic energy, now spreading as a darkness all over his arms, the once pure Father of all angels would respond back with his own blast. And in the end, the result would be the beginning of a beam clash to put all others to shame. As the strongest mortal in history, the God Killer would fire off his legendary Kamehameha against the strongest angel. Both with the devil himself, Lucifer, within them, but with only one warrior determined to make use of it to finally end the story of Ultra Vegito. And instantly, when the two powerful beams, stronger than any in history, would meet, the impact would be indescribable, cataclysmic in nature, and simply too powerful for even Zeno's realm to even contain. As with energy and lightning bursting out everywhere, the giant ball of energy created from their clash would expand larger and larger, and it would be the Omni King's home that would face the consequences, as slowly but surely it would be completely destroyed in all directions. Before a wide view from afar, we would see how the battle of energy beams would begin to completely dwarf the entire divine mushroom. The place Zeno's kingdom and palace once existed. But where Zeno is in all this would still be left to be seen. Ooh. Of course, until the very next panel, where we would see the truly awestruck expression of the all-powerful Omni King, who simply can no longer close his eyes, watching as the greatest light show in history would take place before him.
Been on some shit.
And though his entire realm would be falling apart before him, the fragile but agile creature would be seen jumping from floating rock debris to floating rock debris,
Oh, shit.
as if they were platforms, and all the while he would be staring into the sunlight ball in front of him, commenting, "Amazing, amazing! I want to know who wins!" Do you feel it, mortal? Do you feel the end coming? And when we would rejoin the two warriors, Dai would no longer look like any angel we could recognize.
Hell
His
no.
demonic side, now almost in full view, as a crazed and maniacal look with his fanged teeth on display, would come out as he yells down to the God Killer. "This is it! I can feel my power grow, while yours wanes, Vegito. What do you have to say for your last words? Tell me!"
Tell him.
Well, you're excited, aren't you? But the God Killer, even in the midst of a beam struggle, would seemingly maintain his cool, giving
He's
off
the
a
God
smirk,
Killer, bro.
albeit with a few veins of his own emerging on his face, as he would reply, "I don't know what's given you this newfound confidence, but I approve. That face changing to one of horror will be all the more entertaining once I'm done with you, Dai. There's only one winner here, and it won't be you." Really? Then why can't you push this back? As suddenly, raising his power even higher, using what appears to be everything he has currently, the beam clash would now take a turn for the worse for the God Killer, as Dai's beam pushes back and continues to gain distance on Vegito's, as huge amounts of energy and lightning exude everywhere as the Saiyan's beam is systematically dismantled.
Come on, Vegito. Get his ass out of here.
No! Leaving Vegito stunned with the sudden change, as he just struggles to even hold on. One small mistake here, and he would be swallowed up whole by Dai's divine blast, and more than likely defeated instantly on the spot.
Oh shit.
Damn you, Dai! And the God would then continue to struggle. He too would know all that was at stake, as with his body flexed and trembling, as he tries his best to maintain his position and attack, he would be forced to dig deep, motivating himself
Dig deep.
introspectively, yelling, "Come on, you coward! You have to do this! You can't fail! Come on!" And using everything he has of his own Saiyan willpower, Vegito would unleash a roar as his whole body would be overcome with light, resulting in his final Kamehameha pushing back once more, to reach the middle once again, equaling the one true angel, even with the help of Lucy. Woo! Go Vegito! Go Vegito! This turn of events exciting Zenchan more than anybody else, as he realizes
ain't nobody else there.
things are changing at every second of the battle. Who the victor will actually be can hardly be predicted, leading to extreme excitement for the childlike god. Impossible! But on the contrary for the Grand Priest, this pushback from Vegito would be felt instantly, his body being forced to contort as his muscles contract and spasm from how hard they are being pushed, with him muttering with gritted teeth and one eye open, Where does he get his power from? He said already he wouldn't!
Forget where his power comes from! All that matters is that you know where yours comes from!
Yeah.
As suddenly, a familiar dark and demonic voice would call from the shadows, surprising Dai for the first time, as slowly the corrupted angel would turn his eyes to the left until...
Dear brother!
This nigga back. He inside you now.
Lucifer! As finally, for the first time since beginning
For the
to
first
use
time.
the godly and insanely powerful energy of his elder brother Lucifer, the demonic fallen angel would finally make an appearance within Dai's consciousness.
Oof.
Just as he had plagued Vegito countless times before, as with a smug smile from the shadows, Lucifer would say,
What would he say?
What a reaction! Seems now that we're face to face, you don't seem to be so confident and brash.
Oh.
It's me you're talking to, and not a copy within those sayings. But nevertheless, I'm glad we finally had our reunion. And what a surprise! Just like when we were younger, you're using all my things again.
and as a better look would be seen of the devil himself, Lucifer, with his blood-red demon eyes and bulging eye from his forehead, just as Vegito used to have, would let off a devious grin as he continues.
But what is mine is yours. It's only right. If anyone is worthy of my power, it would be you.
It
My
would be.
own blood.
Hey.
And I'm happy to see. It looks great on you, Dai. Now take it on. And I mean all of it.
Pause.
And finish this mortal before he makes a mockery of our kind.
Be quiet! But Dai, still in the midst of an intense power struggle, would remain steadfast, not falling for his brother's words, with a look of conviction on his face, would yell, "This is more than enough! I refuse to believe this mortal can keep this up! I can do this without any more of you! I'm disgusted as it is! But this is as far a means to an ends that I will go, Lucifer!"
Oh, really?
But the face of Lucifer on hearing this would soon shapeshift to one of sinister intent.
Yeah.
His eyes blaring through the darkness.
He knows what's about to happen.
He'd reply,
That's an interesting assessment you made there. Now tell me, how many other times have you decided to underestimate these Saiyans? Only to be proven wrong. Don't forget, dear brother, I exist, now within both you and him.
before turning right to Dai's ear,
And they having a crazy
Lucifer
orgy.
would yell,
And being within both of you, I know exactly the limits of your powers. And let me tell you right now, that mortal has not even used half of his power yet.
What? This new piece of information and revelation instantly shocking the priest, who turns his head over in instinct, looking into his brother's eyes to detect any hint of deceit. But as he stares, he would only be thinking internally, that cannot be! What reason would Lucifer have to tell me this? It is that Saiyan he has been banking on bringing him back this entire time. If he dies, then so does Lucifer's return. Surely he knows he could never take over me. A pure-blooded angel can never be the host of the devil. This damned Saiyan. It must be true. So be it then.
Okay.
Before, with his face turned back to the energy struggle, and now full of rage, realizing his elder brother must be telling the truth, Dai would make his decision.
What he do?
Much like Vegito had made earlier in the series.
Making a deal with the devil?
Whatever it takes, Lucifer or not, I will not stand for defeat! As bulking up his muscles once more,
Oh, shit.
as he lets out a vicious war cry,
Sorry, y'all.
Dai would accept
Allergies.
the darkness, and once more begin a demonic descent into corruption. As with a deepened voice, suddenly a third eye would burst open from within the red diamond on his forehead. His face noticeably becoming more defined and larger, his teeth far more sharper. All the while, the darkness of his arms would now spread onto his chest, just as it did for Vegito before him. But that would not be all, as suddenly, all over the blackened arms of Dai, countless more red demon eyes would emerge, sprouting
Nigga
more
Danzo?
every second, giving him now an uncanny resemblance.
Somebody watch
to a
Naruto.
certain Lucifer. How do you like things now, mortal? Keep hiding this 50% of your power. You dare to go easy on me, then I will show you the consequences. As now near completely transformed into a demon, his hair now overflowing wildly in all directions. The power of the corrupted Grand Priest would skyrocket to untold levels.
Oh shit.
And the end result would be an even greater blast of energy, now spiraled by pure black aura. The blast would absolutely cannibalize the energy wave of Vegito, making it appear like a mere twig holding the weight of a tree.
What is going on? Die, you fool!
And the green-eyed Saiyan, now only able to keep one open, as he pushes and pushes to just stay alive, would notice instantly what had happened.
What happened?
The change in pressure, presence, and energy alone would be enough to tell him that Dai had given in to Lucis finally. As he would think,
Damn it! 50% where? Who told him that? I'm giving my all. No! It can't end like this!
That nigga lied about his power.
Give up, clown!
as suddenly, snapping things back to reality, the prince, Vegeta from within, in his destroyer seraphim form, would grip his fist tightly, shouting ferociously at the God Killer.
We can't lose here! Remember that! We're winning this! And that's all I want to hear from you! Huh? Vegeta!
This outburst surprising the God Killer, as well and truly, the end of the beam struggle would be in sight, with only a few meters now separating Vegito from pure annihilation. But despite
Sorry, I
this,
just kinda woke up.
Vegeta, unwilling to allow defeat much like Dai, would grit his teeth and continue.
You don't understand!
What I don't
We
understand,
have
Vegeta.
to do this! We have to win here! How many years have we been at this, Vegito? Everything we had to do just to bring back what they took from us! My wife, my son, my daughter! I didn't come this far to lose. I've lost plenty of times all my life, even to this clown next to me. But this time...
But suddenly, just as the prince would come close to finishing his monologue, the thoughts back to his family, and what it would mean if he truly fails here and never sees them again, would cause something to snap within the Saiyan internally. His greatest fears and insecurities realized, spurring him to do something about it.
This time...
As his head would duck into the shadows, his teeth crunching together before... His eyes then widening, along with his gritted teeth now showcasing his gums, as pressure builds
Vegeta
all
powering
around
up.
him. His veins rippling across his face as he keeps on yelling...
This time... This time, I'll win!
As letting off an almighty scream to the heavens, as streams of pure purple energy shoot straight all around him into the sky, his small stature would widen as every muscle on him begins to enlarge violently, as spit would burst out from his wide mouth from just how thunderous his roar would be.
Vegeta!
You're doing it again! As Goku, in awe, would watch once more as the Saiyan Prince breaks past all his limits with just rage, anger, and determination alone. The sight leaving the Seraphim Saiyan with a newfound respect for Vegeta, but also a slight sense of doubt over his own strength in comparison now. And as Vegeta's power up
talk to
in
me.
the final moments of this battle comes to a close, he would reveal himself in an all-new form. One more closely resembling the deceased destroyer Goku, with his hair now far longer, similar to a Super Saiyan 4. A circular purple symbol now on his forehead to join his already purple seraphim eyes, and silence on his perfectly chiseled jaw and mouth as finally Vegeta's ultimate ascension is completed. Seraphim of Destruction Vegeta is finally born. His power now at an all-new level, even without Lucif's involvement. His whole presence now giving off a powerful purple tinge. From his dark purple locks to his violet magenta aura, creating such a luminescence, his own face and body would become shadowed. As with him now firmly in fighting stance, he would let out, "It's up to all of us to do what it takes to win this. The limits of a Saiyan are endless, and these gods will learn that one way or another." And
One way
immediately,
or another.
lifting his arm up and pointing his palm out as if blasting on Vegito's half, the Hakaishin Seraphim Saiyan would then command, "Now go and finish this, Vegito! Show this clown why we mortals are to be feared!" Just like that, on the beck and call of the prince, the fused warrior Vegito would unleash a newfound strength, courtesy of Vegeta, as he screams with even more intensity, his body no longer struggling with Dai's blast. And the result would be near instant, as in this constant battle of to and fro, yet again, the Saiyans would show that things aren't quite over just yet, as completed Vegito's blast, now expanded in size, and with spirals of his own of purple destruction energy, would push back instantly Dai's best effort, surprising the angel as he's physically moved back. Again? How? Leaving the once again terrorized, corrupted angel's body to be under severe pressure once more, his entire being quivering as he struggles yet again to believe any more whether he will truly win this battle.
Fool! I told you! You see what happens when you dare to distrust your dear brother? Use my power in its entirety. This is your last chance, Dai. Believe me now, or lose everything!
Causing Lucif to intervene one more final time. pushing Dai's intrusive mental thoughts to their limits. I can't let this end! And as the Grand Priest would feel the battle being lost, fighting to the very end, his eyes would slowly begin to squint until closing indefinitely,
What was his eyes for?
where for the briefest of moments,
AT&T?
felt like a lifetime to him, Dai would consider all things before. Fine! With his eyes instantly opening with all three, one
shit.
of the two divine brothers of legend would win the war of the mind.
But did you win the battle?
Yes, brother! I always knew we were more similar than you believed. Come, let us restore this multiverse together!
As with a giant gaping mouth and a look of joy never seen so explicitly on Lucifer, the decision would be made clear. As grabbing onto Dai's blackened shoulder now, the true infusion of Lucifer would come to fruition finally. As in a bright light that loses the angel within, Dai would open his eyes wide, feeling the sudden rush of near never-ending power and energy before.
You will regret the day you challenged me, God Killer!
As Dai, now having morphed his entire body into pitch blackness, and his hair, now a one-to-one copy of Lucifer, would now become the vessel of the devil. And as the last remnant of Lucifer within his consciousness would emerge, the devil would greedily yell, "Well done! You have done it! You have won, Dai! Enjoy your prize!" And for what we can only assume is the final time now, Dai's energy blast would break down Vegito's again. Even with the new transformation of Vegeta, the prince could hardly compete with the unbelievable power of Lucifer. Instantly, making the force so great that Vegito's feet would start to smash through the ground, as the floor beneath him would crumble, unable to handle the weight of Dai's beam. Die! You monster! As Vegito, knowing now it was truly now Lucifer, more than Dai he was battling, would grit his teeth in shock, using every ounce of his body just to hold on, but ultimately knowing what he has access to right now was just not enough anymore. Kakarot! But in a shock turn of events, Vegito would then call out to the hero of Universe 7, yelling to him in desperation, "What are you waiting for? We need you! We need you to ascend! You're our only hope, Kakarot!" Huh? Ascend? Now? This out-of-nowhere request, though, would only serve to stun Goku. Knowing all too well the fragility of the situation, would then quickly stare into the center of his fist and briefly reflect. Damn it! It's down to me. But I just transformed.
You did just
Should I
transform.
really do it again? These
You got it
Seraphim
for sleeve,
levels
Goku.
are so different to Saiyan transformation. But I have to try.
I just got sleeping in the month. Make her just woke up.
And not one to give up, especially in a life or death situation. Goku would attempt to do the impossible, powering up his aura to the maximum as he searches
Talk
deep
to me, Goku.
inside to transform, only hours after transforming against GT. Come on, Kakarot! You can do this!
Oh, not long.
Wild support, Vegeta too would uncharacteristically cheer on Goku, knowing that if anyone would
that's
be
not
able to
uncharacteristic.
come through in the final moments with insane plot armor to reach a new height, it would be Son Goku. I can feel something, Kakarot. You're doing it. Dig deep and keep going.
Go deeper, nigga. Deeper.
The God Killer, who intrinsically is linked to Kakarot and Vegeta, would feel as his own power increased as Goku's does, and would notice as he marginally begins to fight back against Dai and Lucif's almighty blast.
Almighty push.
All the while, Goku continues to scream a blood-curdling yell, truly giving it his all, reaching deep inside into his Saiyan heritage to find the next level of power, just as Vegeta did. The ultimate end to the ultimate fairy tale. But for some reason, the scream would soon come to an abrupt end, as just breathing heavily, still in the same exact form, with no change in appearance, there would be a short silence before... I can't do it! I'm sorry, guys! What? But reality would soon come to a head, as this was no fairy tale. This was the harsh story of the God Killer, one who had faced hardship all throughout, and this was no different, as leaving Vegeta stunned at Son Goku of all people not coming through with a solution. The hero of Universe 7 would reveal that he was truly at his limits, with the prince only able to mutter, Kakarot, you've doomed us all.
Oh shit. Don't blame it on him. He just blew balls.
Damn it! I should have known better! And finally, Vegito, the one to bear all the consequences, would find himself now at the end of his lifespan, just about holding it together. As Dai's energy beam now practically stares the fused Saiyan in the face, with nothing more for either Vegeta or Goku to give, the victor of this battle is now certain. No! But defiant as ever, the Saiyan pride of Vegeta would simply not allow him to accept the truth. As grunting, he would think to himself, relying on Kakarot, the Saiyan prince, relying on a low-class warrior. Is that what I've come to? No, I refuse! And despite only having just broke his limits earlier, the prince would power up and try yet again, as dark purple shades of aura rise all around him, and Goku himself would just be forced to guard himself, muttering, "Vegeta! Again? No! It's useless!" But ultimately, he too would fail. Not everything is possible in reality, and so too is the Saiyans breaking limits on their own more than once. Vegeta! He couldn't blame the Saiyan Prince for trying, but there was always hope held out for the pipe dream. And curiously, as the beam would get so close now, a shadow would cast over the God Killer's face and body. It would seem in his final moments, Vegito could only help but smile as he would reflect and finally let out, "Good try. No one is to blame here. Not you, Vegeta, and not you, Kakarot. We did our best, no matter how stacked the cards were against us. But this is it. No more talking. This is goodbye."
Oh, shit.
Goodbye? Vegito, what do you mean by that? But Goku, hearing this, wouldn't see this as a simple farewell. Rather, as Vegito saying something entirely else. As with his mouth now wide with panic, he would just yell, "Wait, Vegito! Don't do it! Don't! Be quiet, Saiyan!" As suddenly, in a shock reverse on everything the three mortals had agreed on, Vegito, the God Killer, would make the ultimate sacrifice, slowly reaching back into his final trump card. The power that had ultimately got him here in the first place, as slowly but surely the power of Lucifer would once again take over the Saiyan, and for the final time, with the aim now of leaving nothing behind of the devil's power. His green seraphim instantly returning to blood red as the whites of his eyes turned pitch black, and on his forehead a shining violet-red triangle, opposite in orientation to the angels, would also begin to form, until... Finally, Ultra Vegito, the God Killer, the true
Talk to me.
vessel of Lucifer, with no other option on the table, would appear in a completed devil form. His dual horns bursting outwards,
Damn, Pete.
his entire body a deep black, as his wild, white and red tinged hair would flow incessantly, as an insane power never before held in his hands would explode out at the very last second. All the while, of course, Lucifer, overjoyed at now having successfully taken over, not only die, but Vegito too now would just yell,
Go! Go, my vessel! In the end,
This is funny, bro.
I always told you, my power was always the answer!
"No! No! Vegito! immediately the change in their fused counterpart, their own fusion, they would know from instinct the decision the God Killer had just made. And what it would mean now for all of them
Oh shit.
and the future of the multiverse.
Oh shit.
But regardless of the method, when we look at the
They use
state of the
Kaioken or
battle
something.
now, the tables would be completely flipped, with the God Killer's blast now utterly erasing Dimes, reaching him immediately. What? This power? It's... But on this occasion, both parties would now have finally exhausted all their options. And this time, the God Killer would be the one to come out on top. As the Lucif-infused Angel would barely then have any features visible anymore, as he is completely lost in the bright light of Vegito's blast.
Yep.
And not long after, not even his form and stance would remain, as being completely overwhelmed and surrounded by the God Killer's all-powerful beam, the once father of all angels would have his hands and legs spread out forcefully, as he slowly but surely begins to disintegrate. And as we finally get a closer look at his face, he would only be left muttering, "What power?"
How beautiful.
Before his blood-curdling final scream would be heard as he shot high into the heavens. Though not before in one final curious scene. For the briefest of moments, a smirk would be seen on his face. Perhaps the Grand Priest, in the end, welcomed his death. And just like that, the one true angel would now be
shit.
nothing more than a bright star in the sky, as Vegito's final Kamehameha, pushed on by his devil transformation, would follow behind, leaving just a trail of energy particles in its dust.
Yeah, Vegito, that nigga. Vegito, that nigga.
But unbelievably, when we would look back at the God Killer, though he would be understandably completely exhausted and out of breath, as his trembling hands just barely maintain the Kamehameha stance, he would show no trace at all of Lucif's corruption anymore. Now back in his actual base form, black hair and black eyes and all, Vegito, without a word now,
Wow, you got rid of the
they
Grand
have
Prix.
just not only annihilated Dai, but somehow his elder brother Lucif too. I had no choice. But as the lifeless eyes of Vegito would begin to fade, along with his blurring vision, he would just repeat his final line from earlier. Before, with his body stumbling and twitching, he would take one last step forward before slamming face first onto the ground, now with truly nothing left to give the world. And as his now pupilless eyes fade into obscurity, without a sound, the only motion left from Vegito would be a foaming saliva and instantly begins to drool out of his open mouth. But as the saliva continues to drool out, a faint sound would eventually be heard from the God Killer, as if he would notice the approach of someone. That someone being the Omni King himself. As transmissioning over, he would arrive with his hands behind his back.
Oh shit. What he got to say?
Ooh, look at that! But as Zeno would appear, he would quickly turn his attention to something other than Vegito, turning his body around and staring into the distance as he would strangely comment, "Looks like you still have some energy, Vegito, and he has none. It's all gone. Look!" Before suddenly in the distance, when we would look behind the childlike deity, we would see exactly what Zeno was just talking about. As finally, the school board's llama left behind specifically for him would now make its long-awaited reappearance, and with only Vegito left with a life force on it. And so, with simple deduction, Zeno would look behind the lifeless God Killer and reveal, "Well, by the looks of it, you won, Vegito. Your wish will be granted." And as if those words were a senzu bean, on the instant of hearing them, Vegito's eyes would burst back to show signs of life.
Yes, sir.
Using what
What's
sparse
the catch?
energy he has left to look beyond Zeno and see the board for himself, indicating, just as the god had said, that only the God Killer would have an energy bar left showing on the board. The winner, in the end, was Vegito. Lucifer, you weren't lying. You helped me. As with a stunned face, Vegito would only be able to think back to his final moments in that key beam clash and a secret conversation he had had with the devil just before he decided to use his power. As soon, we would peer into an unexpected flashback. While Vegito's eyes were closed, Lucifer would appear and say,
Listen, Saiyan. I think we all know how things are about to go. With my power now fused with Dai, you have no chance. Just as you always didn't. But there is still a lifeline here. I am here.
Okay.
And if you don't use my power right now, you die. And all this was just for nothing. But if you do use my power, you will win. And I know you know that. Dai may be using my energy, but with a pure heart like his, he will never truly be able to master it. You, though, you contain a darkness few could ever possess.
Right.
Only a god killer like you could wield my power to its fullest. Do not forget that!
I'm gonna forget it tomorrow.
But as soon as Vegito would hear this, he would only respond in annoyance, saying, "Whatever you're saying, even if it wasn't a whole lot of lies like you fed me before, the minute I use it, he'll just absorb it all. I'll lose anyway, and at the same time, make that freak stronger than ever before. Not to mention, you'll probably be back too. At least, if I die as a Saiyan, here and now, you die too.
What a fool!
But Lucifer would only find this response amusing, as with an ominous smirk, he would end the conversation saying,
I die too? How dumb are you mortals really? If you die, this part of my energy disappears. But I will continue to exist, still within die. The god you swore to take revenge on. The god I swore to get revenge on.
Alright.
You think I care about returning to a multiverse with nothing in it but puny mortals? My aim has always aligned with yours. That is why I chose you. When you unleash my full power, he may absorb it all, but he will die from your blast. And if that means me too, then so be it. At least, I will finally have taken with me my dear brother who sent me to the demon realm millennia ago. So either do nothing and die a waste of time, allowing Dai and Zeno to repopulate the multiverse with new gods, or use my power and take a chance on my words. Only one of those options has a confirmed ending of failure. Choose wisely, Saiyan.
And with that conversation done, Vegito, as we know, chose the only option that gave him a slither of opportunity. And with the devil seemingly having been true to his word, only a smirk would be seen on the God Killer as he just mutters in relief. Looks like you weren't too different to me all along, Lucifer. Our revenge was one and the same. Thank you, old friend. But just as Vegito would begin to express gratitude, only an overwhelming feeling of dread and terror would follow. What? As in the distance, he would notice a sudden instantaneous change in the scoreboard. A red-colored bar
That nigga Dai ain't
appearing
done.
under Dai's name.
It was too good to be true.
When we zoom in, it would be no illusion. Dai's bar would now be completely full, dwarfing Vegito's, and most unnervingly, it would be the same blood red color linked to a certain demon. As Zeno, blissfully unaware as usual, would just yell, "Wow! Hold on! Looks like Dai is back! And he's got way more energy than you now!" And just like that, almost immediately, as if waiting for the call of Zeno, something would then crash straight from the sky into the ground right before the Omni King. No! And Vegito, still completely out for the count, would just be forced to watch, as he would know himself who exactly it would be.
Yep.
But regardless, as the smoke would clear, Zeno would still be unaware of who the figure was. He would comment, "I don't recognize this energy." As through the shadows,
Yep, it's him.
two bright red eyes would poke through. The same red of the energy bar on the scoreboard before.
Oh shit.
How generous of you, God Killer! How generous of you to feed me all of my elder brother's power! With this energy, I promise you, I will bring about the strongest age of gods in history! As unbelievably revealed back now with a truly horrendous demonic face, Die, the Grand Priest, would be back. His red diamonds, each leaking red demonic energy from Vegito, as if completely past his limits. As his arm too, coated in Lucis power, would leave the corrupted angel now more powerful than ever before. Lucifer, you! Leaving one last shock for the fallen Saiyan until... you! His eyes just no longer being able to bear seeing the sight of the god's victory would begin closing slowly until ultimately, finally shutting. Is this really the end of the God Killer's story? Find out in the next exciting episode of UV. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this
Alright, that was an episode right there. Can't wait to see the next one. I know I probably was dozing in and out of this one, but I watched it anyway. Shout out to CallMeARJ. I'm ready to see the next one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. Peace.